In this video I want to scrape Amazon.com website, and I will use Selenium WebDriver and the BeautifulSoup library to do it. Selenium I want to use only to get HTML source code of a page. The scraping process itself will be performed with BeautifulSoup and the LXML parser, because it's faster, has better API and is more precise than Selenium. First of all, I have to download the WebDriver. So I'm going to the Selenium Python documentation website. I need the installation section, drivers. I prefer to use Firefox. It redirects me to the GitHub page, and here I'm downloading the version for my operating system. Now I have to copy this archive to the folder where my script will be located. Unpack it here, and I've got the Gecko driver. And now let's create a Python script, main py. And also I need to install. I'm activating my virtual environment, and now I need to install Selenium, BeautifulSoup and the LXML libraries. And to create an instance of the WebDriver, of the Firefox class in my case, I have to pass into the init method the path to the Gecko driver file. And to get the absolute path of the Gecko driver file, I want to use the pathlib library. So from I need the path class. Then let's define the global variable, let's say driver path. And it'll be an instance of the path class that takes the file name as an argument, so it will be Gecko driver, this file. And I am calling the resolve method that makes the path absolute, and this expression will return an instance of the POSIX path class, and I want to convert it to string. Okay, I've got the path, and now let's create an instance of the Firefox and get the Amazon.com page. So I need to import the WebDriver. And also I want to create a starting point for my script. This expression, this if block, checks whether the script was executed directly or it was imported to another model. So if it was executed directly, the main function will be called. And here in the main function I am creating an instance of the Firefox class. Let's say it'll be the browser, WebDriver, Firefox. And now to use the Gecko driver file, I have to pass into the init method of the Firefox class the path to the Gecko driver file as the executable path argument. So the executable path parameter gets the value of the driver path variable. And now let's get the Amazon.com web page. I'm calling the get method, and I'm passing into it the URL address of the page. And let's test it. And we can see that the browser starts and it opens the target page, Amazon.com. Okay, so let's open the amazon.com in your browser. And as an example, I want to use the Canon 5D cameras. And Amazon says that there are 33 results on 3 pages. Okay, and to scrape it, I can use the URL that appeared in the address bar of my browser. But I think that it will be a good idea to use the URL of the second page, because there is additional page get parameters that has a value the number of a page. For example, if I change 2 on 1, I will get the first page. So I think that I will use this URL. Copy it and paste it here. The page parameter will be equal to 1. And let's start again. Okay, nothing changed. And to get HTML code of the page, I have to use the page source attribute of my Firefox instance. So the browser variable page source. And in this video I want to scrape titles, prices and URLs of all ads on all available pages for me. I want to start with scraping this data, and then I will scale my scraper to get data from other pages. So let's inspect the ads in the inspector. For example, and we can see that each ad is the div block with this long CSS class. It's very long, and I think that it's not convenient to use it and to identify the div block. But there is also data asyn attribute. Asyn is the Amazon goods ID, and also there is data component type attribute that has as search result value. And I think that we can assume for sure that the div tags with these attributes are the cards of the search results. And so I want to get them. My next step is to create an instance of the BeautifulSoup class that I have to import firstly. And here in the main function I'm creating a new variable. Let's say it will be the soup variable. It will be an instance of the BeautifulSoup class. And the first argument is the HTML code of the page. I'm passing into it the HTML variable. And the second argument is the name of the HTML parser. It's a string, and I want to use LXML library. The BeautifulSoup class transforms the HTML code of a page, it's a huge string, to a system of Python objects. And then I want to find all divs that have the data asyn attribute, and also their data component type attribute should have a search result value. So I'm using the soup variable and I'm calling the findAll method. I'm looking for the div, and his identifying attributes will be the following. The data asyn should present, and the data component type attribute data component type should have the as search result value, like here, as search result. And the find all method will return a list of tag class instances. So let's print the length of the cards list. Print len cards. And I'm executing the script. Okay, I have 22 results. But Amazon says that there are only 17 results on the first page. And I think that it's okay. And I think that this inconsistency is due to the sponsored ads that are not included to this value. Now let's define a new function that will perform requests to the Amazon.com website. Let's say it'll be getHTML function. And now I want to copy these lines here. And the URL argument of the get method I want to replace with the URL variable that I want to define as the positional argument for the getHTML function. And this function will return the source code of the page. I can delete it from here, and the initial URL will be this URL. HTML variable will be result of the getHTML function, and I am passing into it the URL variable. Let's test it again. Okay, nothing changed, it's working. And now I've got the list with all cards on the page. And now I want to get the title, the URL, and the price of each card. So let's inspect them again. We can see that the title of the ad is h2 tag, and let's print them. I'm starting the for loop, where for each card variable in cards list, in this list, on each iteration of the for loop, the card variable gets an element of the cards list. And so the card variable is an instance of the BeautifulSoup tag class. So here I want to find, I'm calling the find method, I want to find h2 tag, and I want to get its text, and then I want to print it. Or I can use the shortcut. We can omit the explicit call of the find method in this case. So it will be the card h2 text. Let's run it. Okay, and we can see all titles of these ads. This space we can strip with the strip method. Okay, then the URL. And we can see here that h2 tag has the child a tag that has the href attribute with the URL I want to get. And to get it, I can use the shortened formula the same way. Let's say the title will be h2 and the URL will be card h2. I'm looking for a, and then I'm calling the get method and specifying the attribute I want to get. And to avoid the repetitive search of the same tag, h2 tag, I want to find the h2 tag firstly. So let's say the h2 will be card h2, and then the title and the card, and then the price. The price is the span tag with the aPrice whole CSS class. So the price variable will be almost the same. I'm find the span tag and its class. Class in Python is the reserved keyword, so I have to use here the underscore. So the class attribute will be equals to a price whole. I need its text, and let's print it. Print price. And I've got an exception. Okay, we will handle it a bit later. I think that something has no price, some ad has no price. This one, for example. But it doesn't matter, we will handle it a bit later. Nevertheless, our prices are not normalized. There are commas and dots. So I want to normalize the prices. I want to strip off the dot from the end, and I want to get rid of the comma. So I need to call the strip method firstly. I want to strip the dots. I want to strip spaces and tabs. And then I want to split the price string by the comma. So price equals to price. I'm calling the split method and passing into it the comma as an argument. So the split method will return a list. And then I want to join again this list with empty string. Let's test it again. Okay, and we can see normalized prices. Great. The last steps are to save this data to a CSV file and to get data of other pages. But now let's move the body of the for loop to a separate function. Copy. Let's name it scrape data. And it will take the card as an argument. And now I want to pack this scraped data to a dictionary. Let's say it will be the data dictionary. The title key will get the title variable as the value. Then the URL will get the URL value, and the price will get the value of the price variable. Return data. As we can see, some ads has no price, and Python raises an exception. And this exception terminates the work of our script. So it will be a good idea to wrap each call of the find method to the try except blocks. So let's try to find h2 tag here. If the try block will fail, I want to have title as an empty string and the URL as an empty string. If the try block will be successful, then the title will be the following and the URL. The next one, the price. Try. Scrape. Okay, then in the main method, I want to create a new variable, adds data, for example. It will be an empty list. And then in the for loop, I want to get data. I am calling the scrape data function and passing into it the card variable. Scrape data. Okay. And then I am appending the adds data list with the data dictionary. And then I want to save all this data to a CSV file. So I need to import the CSV module. And let's define a new function. Let's say it will be write CSV that takes adds list as an argument, and then I have to use with the context manager to open a file object with the result CSV name. For example, I am calling the open function, and the first argument is the name of the file I want to open. Let's say I am opening it in the append mode and save this opened file object to a f variable. Then the fields list will define an order in which data of dictionaries will be written to the file. So let's say the title, the URL, and the price. Or maybe price, URL. Then writer CSV will be an instance of the dict writer class that takes the f opened file object as an argument, as the first argument, and the field names parameter gets the value of the fields variable. And then I'm starting a for loop for add in adds writer, and I'm calling its write raw method and passing to it the add. And to write scraped data into a CSV file, in the main function, I'm just call the write CSV function and passing into it adds data list. Let's test it. I've got the results CSV. Title, prices, URLs. Okay, it was the scraping process for only one page. And I wanted to scrape all the pages for the Canon 5D cameras. And to scrape all pages, I want to change the page 1 argument of the URL address. And we can see here three pages. So to scrape all pages, I want to change page parameter of the URL address. And thus the whole scraping process can be the following. I'm starting a new global for loop for I, it means integer, in range from 1 to 3 plus 1 to 4. And then I am using this code. The write CSV will be outside of the for loop, and the adds data list will be also outside this for loop. Then, on each iteration of the for loop, I want to insert the value of the I variable to the f string. The URL will be f string, and the page parameter will be changed on each iteration of the for loop. And that's all. And it will work, but the Firefox class instance will be created every time the getHTML function will be called. And to avoid it, I want to create the Firefox instance globally at the top level of the script. So let's copy it. Maybe move it at the top of the page, and that's all. Let's test it. Don't save, delete it, and let's run the script again. And okay, and it works. And I've got 51 results due to the sponsored ads, but it doesn't matter for the video. And if you wish, I think you can easily create a class for that Amazon scraper. And if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.